address those. Like Kurt said, this webinar will be recorded, so we'll be sending this out to you, and you'll be able to access this at a later date, just in case you run into any questions or anything like that. But we should be good to go. And I cannot make anybody the presenter. That would just defeat the purpose of this. So sorry, but we'll go ahead and get started. This is storageauctions.com. This is what buyers will see whenever they come log onto our website. They'll be able to scroll through and be able to see every unit that we have posted on our website. And you'll notice each of these units has a default thumbnail picture. So this is the first picture that buyers see whenever they come to the site. They'll be able to see the clock that counts down the remaining hours, minutes, and seconds for the unit itself. They'll be able to see the current highest bid value, the store name, and then the city and state in which that store is posting the auction. So if a buyer was interested in looking at this unit in particular, they would click the See Details and Start Bidding button, and that will actually bring them into the unit-specific information. Now, once they're inside of this, they'll be able to hover their mouse over the picture and get a magnified view of the pictures that are being posted or that are listed for the unit. So it gives them a better understanding of what exactly is inside of that unit. And you'll notice that you can just click on the pictures underneath to rotate through them. If you had more than 4 pictures, there would be a carousel button that kind of lets you sift through all of those. But again, you'll be able to see the exact time and date that the auction is set to sell with the clock that's counting down, the highest bid value for this unit. You'll be able to see the total number of bids in this section as well. So if we were to click on this 13, we'll get a bid history that will show you the exact time and date that every single bid was placed within the system. And you'll be able to scroll down to see every bid that was placed. You'll notice these 2 bidders are going back and forth, and each one of these bidders has an assigned, or it's a randomly generated bidder number, and it's generally different for each auction event. So it prevents them from being able to get in cahoots with each other or just say, hey, Bill, this is Jim. We're not going to bid against each other on this unit and try to get it for a lower value. So they're not able to see each other's names whenever they're actually placing bids for your units.
You're in the meeting?
But if we were to scroll down just a little bit, we'll be able to see the unit contents, and this is labeled as the unit descriptions whenever you're actually creating the auction event. You'll be able to see the general items that are inside of the units, and this is just going to be labeled out very similarly to your newspaper articles that you send to your local advocate. So it'll just be items separated by commas, and that's how this information will be displayed. Our website will automatically put this unit appears to contain ... in front of anything that you put in your unit description section or the unit content section, just so that you're aware. Like you may see a box that says that there's a 42-inch TV inside of it, but you're not actually sure if the TV is inside of that box. This unit appears to contain this item, but it's kind of protecting you as a manager for that specific unit.
Just did it automatically.
And let's just point out that the unit contents information, again, is very important, making sure that you use specific keywords. So if it was a flat screen TV box and it says Sony on it, then you want to make sure that you're stating that it's a Sony television that the unit appears to contain. Yeah. Again, the more specific information, the better.
Absolutely. The more information you can give the buyers, the better your units are going to do. So right underneath the unit contents is going to be the auction terms, and this is specific for each company. So your auction terms have already been set for you, and they're going to be defaulted into the system. So you won't ever have to worry about typing anything out in this section. It'll be done for you automatically, but this is where the auction terms show up for the buyers whenever they're actually creating an auction event. Or sorry, whenever they're interested in bidding on a unit.
Varian and Octavia too, because it's just them too.
Give me 1 second, guys. The notice to bidder section right here on this right-hand column is standard across every single unit that is hosted on our website. This is just legal jargon protecting you and protecting us for hosting this actual auction. You're more than welcome to read through it whenever you'd like. It goes over the fees for the bidders and everything like that. So you'll notice this on every single auction that is hosted on our website. If you were to scroll down underneath this basic information, you'll be able to see other auctions that are listed at your location. So buyer will click in to see details of one of your units. They'll be able to scroll down and see every other unit that you have listed on for your auction event. If you had more than 5 units, they would all display inside of this section, and then there would be a carousel button kind of rotating through just so that they're able to see all of those units. But after they've looked at all of your units, they'll be able to scroll down and see any other auctions that are listed within either a 25 or 100-mile radius of your actual facility. So this generally won't be for your actual locations, but we always show them your units first, and then we'll show them anything in their local area. So this is what the buyers will see on the front end of the website whenever they're actually clicking in to see a unit or actually start bidding. Is there any questions that I can go over for you in this section? Awesome. Before we actually move into the back end of the website, I do want to just note this watch item is going to be a star that buyers are able to click, and this will add this unit to their watch list. Now, they're not actually bidding on the unit at this point, but I'll show you in the back end where you can see how many people are watching your units, which is a really cool tool to be able to use. But we'll go ahead and move into the back end of the website. This is Mr. Kurt's account, so his account will look a little bit different from yours as manager. You won't have as many options on this left-hand action bar, but it'll just give you a good representation of what you'll actually see whenever you log into your account. So you'll all start on the dashboard whenever you log into your account, and you'll notice the number of auctions by month and then the revenue by month graphs. These are just line graphs that you can hover over to see the number of units on this green line and then the number of auction events on this red line for your company in its entirety. This is not location specific information, but for the entire company. So you're able, again, with the revenue by month, just hover over to see exactly how well your auctions are doing for a particular month, and then seeing the total revenue in the top right-hand corner of the revenue by month graph. We'll give you that basic information. So just some cool numbers to take a look at, and as your company continues to grow with us, those numbers will definitely go up, and it'll be really cool. But moving on from here, we'll move to the auctions tab on this left-hand side. You'll notice that there's a green box in this right-hand side of the auctions tab, and this is going to be the number of tenants that are in auction status for your particular location. Now, Mr. Kurt's account can see all locations, so this is for the entirety of your company, but you as a manager will only be able to see the locations that you're assigned to, and your number will be a lot lower. So if we go ahead and click into this auctions tab, we can go ahead and start creating an auction event. And it's very self-explanatory and straightforward to use, but if you have any questions, please let me know. But we'll go ahead and add a new auction event in this top left-hand corner, and then be able to create the event itself. Now, the difference between an auctioned unit and an auction event is you will have one event for your location selling units on a particular day. So let's just say December 5th is when your auction is set to sell. You'll change this end time to December 5th, and then you'll select the appropriate time using this slider for the action bar. We'll just say that the units are going to sell at 10 o'clock on the dot. But so your event will hold as many units as are needed for the auction event itself, whether it's 1, 2, 5, 10, however many units you'll have them all listed in this one auction event. I'll scroll down just a little bit just so that you're aware, or you're able to see. Right now, just brand new auction event, you've got one unit, all of the information is completely blank for you, and there's nothing underneath it. So once you're actually in the process of creating an auction event, you'll come to this locations tab and select your appropriate location. You'll notice all of these, or majority of these locations have a number in parentheses. This is the number of tenants that are in auction status for that particular location. So if we were looking at this Arlington Heights location as that manager, you would have the number 8 represented in this green box, and that would match that number 8 in this parentheses. So We'll go ahead and use them for an example. And as soon as we select that location as a manager, you'll be able to see Unit 1's information has been filled out for you automatically. You've got your unit number and private information for that tenant. And then we'll also be able to scroll down and see all 8 units are attached to this auction event for you automatically. So saves you a lot of time just filling in some basic information for you as soon as you create your auction event and select your location. So we'll come all the way back up to the top real quick, and we've got our end time set and our location set. From here, you'll want to change the manager. Mr. Kurt will always be the default for the manager since he is the account holder. You will want to select your appropriate name so that you're the one that receives the invoices at the end of the auction. It's a pretty big step. Just select your appropriate name, and then you'll move down to the time zone where you'll select either Central or Eastern Standard Time for your respective facility. And we'll just say that this is Eastern Standard Time just for this example. From here, we'll skip over the date of lien letters and newspaper articles. So these 3 sections right here, we can skip over for right now, and we'll move to the ending offset. Ending offset is an easy way to say that there's going to be a 5-minute gap between each one of your units selling. So first unit will sell at 10 o'clock on the dot, and then it'll be 10:05, 10:10, 10:15 until all of your units are done. And this is a great way to just allow your buyers to be able to bid on multiple units without them worrying about each one ending at the exact same time. So you have the option to extend your ending offset if you would like, but generally 5 minutes is plenty of time for those buyers, so you can leave this section alone. Right underneath that is going to be the sales tax, and this is very important for you as a manager. Right now, our system does not have a default sales tax for particular locations, so you will manually have to input the sales tax for each auction event that you create, whether that's 6.5% or 8%, whatever your sales tax that you need to charge for your units needs to be displayed in this section so that the invoices generated at the end of the auction event will display that information and the winning buyer is aware of it. So just be sure sales tax, if you need to apply it's inputted in this section.
Yes, everyone will have to put that in manually. And again, it's the sales tax that's being charged in SiteLink at your store.
Mm-hmm. Acceptable payment methods are defaulted for you, so cash and card. You won't have to change this information. It will be displayed for you automatically. And then you'll notice your auction instructions have been filled in for you automatically as well. So this will not need to be changed. This is standard for your company, so you'll leave the auction instructions alone unless your DMs notify you to do otherwise. But we'll move down to the date of pickup. You do allow for 72 hours for the auction to be paid for, so you'll leave this pickup deadline alone, and that will be notated on the invoice once the auction is actually over. Getting into the unit-specific information, I'm coming back to the date of lien letter being sent and newspaper articles. This is a place for you to be able to input information, just saying for your company records that, hey, the lien letter I sent out on November 20th at 12 noon or whatever time you need to for this section. This will be whenever you send your original lien letters, and then if you have newspaper articles, you'll do the exact same thing, selecting the appropriate date and time on the calendar for this information. These are not required fields for you to fill out to be able to create an auction event, but I would reach out to your DM and just ensure whether or not you want to use these 3 fields.
Yes, that's good information to have, so certainly fill that information in on a consistent basis.
There you go. Once we finish the event-specific information, we'll move down to unit-specific information, and we'll just start with Unit 2. And you'll notice all the private information for your tenants are filled out for you automatically. That's pulled directly from your SiteLink integration, so you won't have to worry about inputting anything in that section. You'll just come over, find the unit number that is associated with this, and then select the appropriate unit size. You'll notice that we have a really extensive list of unit sizes. If you find something that is not in this list but need it to be added, definitely reach out to us either by phone or by email, and letting us know. We'll be able to add that for you. I'll just say that this is a 5x5 unit just for the example. From here, you'll move to the unit type and select the appropriate unit type for this auction. This will be whether it's climate controlled, non-climate, if it's a manager buildup unit, or if there's possible storm damage. You'll just select the appropriate type of unit. And obviously, if it's got storm damage, you'll want to select that over the climate control or non-climate. But just select the best appropriate type for your units. And we'll just say this is a climate controlled unit for the example. We'll come down to the unit description information after that, and this again is where you want to be as descriptive as possible, saying that there is a queen size mattress, or there are totes or boxes, whatever is inside of your unit. You'll just list it out, separating them by commas, and again, be as descriptive as you can for your buyers. The more information you give them, the better results that you'll receive for your actual units. And just note that this is the section that we will always put at storageauctions.com. This unit appears to contain ... in front of whatever you put inside of this section. So we will do this for you automatically. You do not need to input that information. Just begin filling out the description as you see best. Right underneath the description is the unit tags information, and this is just as important, if not more important, than the unit description itself. This is a list of items that are SEO searchable, so meaning search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing can match local searches in your area to anything that you have in this list. So if Martha down the street is looking for boxes or cabinets, and you have these items as your tags, and Martha's searching, I'm looking for cabinets near me, Google will say, hey Martha, we found something that you're looking for, and bring her directly into your units, or give her the option of being able to come directly into your units. So with the tags, you can just click anywhere in this white space, and that'll bring down the drop-down list where you can scroll through and find your appropriate tags. Once you get a little bit more comfortable with the tag system, you can go ahead and start typing out, hey, I've got a mattress, or I've got a TV, and you can just select the appropriate item. These are a little bit more generic than your unit descriptions, so you won't find a 42-inch TV in the tag section, but a TV will be just fine. So again, that's going to be your tags versus the unit description itself. And then at this point, this unit is done. You would move down to the second one, do the exact same thing for this unit, and then all of the remaining units that you have until your auction event, or all of the units are completed. Just to not mess up this facility's actual information, I'm going to change this from a facility that has site link information to one that does not. And you'll notice that this goes back to a blank shell of information, and I'll just fill this basic information out real quick just so we have an example. So again, we'll come down to the tags, do as many as possible. Not box spring. Boxes. And then this information is optional. Luckily, it's pulled all in for you for your site link. So from this point, if you needed to add a manager buildup unit or any unit that is not being pulled in from your site link integration, you're more than welcome to do so with the add unit button. You can do this as many times as you need to, just knowing that you can always remove the unit while it's still in draft status. Once the auction goes live on the website, the remove unit button is gone, and it's changed to a cancel unit button, which I'll show you here in just a few minutes. But from this point, we'll say that we are ready to save the event and add photos, and this will save the auction event into a draft status. Now, for your first few times that you're creating an auction event on our website, just be aware that internet sessions automatically time out within either 45 minutes to an hour time period if you remain on the same screen. So if you know, as a manager, you get phone calls, you got customers coming in at random times, save the event as much as possible just so that you don't lose information. Again, you'll have 45 minutes to an hour on a screen without saving that information before it's lost. So just be aware of that information. And so right now we're at the update auction event. We just click the save event and add photos, so we have a draft status of our auction event at this point. If you needed to attach the digital copies of your lien letters or your newspaper articles, you're more than welcome to do so in these 3 sections. You can browse the files on your computer, or if you know where they're located, you can drag them directly into these boxes and they'll be uploaded for you automatically. But once you finish this information, you'll scroll down and you'll see your unit. It's Unit 1 labeled on our website, and then whatever your unit number is right beside it will be where you want to upload your images. This is for your unit-specific pictures. You'll just click this red button that says Upload Images. You'll see the unit number that you're talking about right here in this top left-hand corner, and then we'll drag the appropriate files into this section. So I'll take these 3 pictures that I have on my desktop. I can highlight all 3 of them, or I can do one at a time, whichever I'd rather. And I'll just highlight these 3, drag them directly into this box, and then let go. As soon as I let go, you'll notice that they automatically start uploading, and you'll see a green check mark in the top left-hand corner, letting you know that the unit or the pictures were uploaded successfully. If you notice for whatever reason in this section that you've got a picture that is in the wrong unit, so this picture in particular doesn't belong to unit 15, we can click the trash can button and that'll delete the picture from this section. Or if we notice that this picture in particular is in the wrong orientation, we can click the preview tool, say, yep, this isn't showing up correctly. We need to rotate the image in a 90-degree fashion, and that's what the rotate tool is here for. So you can rotate it to the correct orientation and click close, and that information will be automatically updated for you. You can do the exact same thing if you're not wanting to drag and drop, but you can browse the files on your computer. You can select an image and then hold the shift key and then highlight multiple images and open them. That will allow you to add multiple images at the same time without doing one at a time. Once you have all of your pictures added into the specific unit, you'll click Done Uploading Photos, and that'll bring you back to the event page where you can scroll down and do the exact same process for Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4 until all of your units are done.
Justin, show them how to reorder the images. Again, we know the default image is what is going to show up when a customer first starts viewing a listing, and that's very important to make sure that the first image, the default image, is the best image of that unit, therefore enticing a potential customer to come in and start bidding.
Absolutely. So we're still in the auction event screen. You can do this by editing an auction event once it's in draft status or as soon as you upload the pictures. But you'll notice you have Unit 1 for your unit number. You can click anywhere in this gray section, and that'll drop down the unit-specific information. Or if you wanted to use the arrow on the far right-hand side, that'll do the exact same thing for you. From here, you can edit any of the information while the auction is still in draft status, and you can do the exact same thing for the private information section if you would like to do that. But selecting a default image is going to be right inside of this section. You can just click the whatever photo is the best way to display your unit. Just set that as a default for this particular unit. If you would like to reorder the images, you could do that as well by just changing the order of the pictures to give you the best representation of that unit. And all of these changes are made dynamically on the website. So as soon as I change this to 1 and click out of this box, this will become the first picture in the order. Or as soon as I change this picture to the set as a default, it is automatically changed for you. So we are more than welcome to save the event to just verify that information, but all of this is dynamic. So as soon as you change a picture, either order or set it as a default, it is automatically changed on the front end of the website. Any questions about the auction creation process, either inputting event information or editing the unit specific information? Okay, awesome. So from this point, you'll scroll down all the way to the bottom. You've gotten all of your unit-specific information inputted into the system. You will then click the Save Event button. the save and launch button, if you do see it, will not do anything for you. All of your DMs are going to be the ones that save the event and actually launch it live onto the website. So you'll just save the event in to a draft status and then notify your DM, letting them know that your auction is ready for it to go live. And then they will proceed to launch the auction event for you. So we'll go ahead and click this Save Event button just so that you can see that this is in the Auctions tab right here on this left-hand side, but you've got your auction event. It is still in draft status. The status will change to published as soon as it goes live onto our website. And at that point, you'll be able to see views, bids, and anybody that clicks to start to watch those units. While the auction is still in draft status, you as a manager are able to edit the information and just make sure that it is up to date. So if you come to this auctions tab, you'll be able to see your auction event in draft status. You'll come to this black button that says more actions and then click view edit right beside that. And then it'll bring you into the auction event where you can edit the information. Again, being able to click on the down arrow to change your unit specific information. Once the auctions actually go live on the website, you as a manager will be able to click this View Live Auctions button, and this will show you the units very similarly to the front end of the website. You'll be able to see them in this actual kind of window right here on the back end of the website. So they will be filled out in this section where it says no results found right now. But you'll be able to see them directly as the buyers would see them on the front end of the website. So this is a great place for you to be able to come back, double check your pictures, make sure you have the best picture available for your units, and just be able to watch that information. So all of that will be in the View Live Auctions button. Do want to show you a couple more things before I let y'all go, but it's going to be inside of the Auctions tab right here on this left-hand side. We're going to come to the View Ended Auctions button in the top middle portion of the screen, and you'll be able to see auction events that have ended. Now, again, you will only be able to see your respective location, so you won't see the entire companies, but we will take Mountainside here for an example. It's got 2 units. It had over 900 views. Couple bids, but we can click this more actions and view edit button. And the reason why we'll want to come inside of this is to be able to download the invoices once the auction event is actually over. So units have sold, and then if you wanted to actually see what the unit looked like to the buyer on the front end of the website, you can click the view unit button, and that'll bring you to exactly as the buyer saw it when they were placing bids. You wanted to download the invoice for this actual unit, you'll just click this download invoice button, and that'll download a PDF version of the invoice where you can open it up, print it out if you need to. But in this invoice, you'll have the buyer's first and last name, phone number that they have, and then the email address if you want to reach out to them either by phone or by email. We do recommend that you reach out to your buyers if they haven't showed up within either 24 hours, just so that you can see exactly when they're planning on coming in. But you'll notice on this invoice, you've got the final auction price of $20, the 10% deposit that we collect as soon as they win the unit, plus the sales tax that is applied gives you the total balance that is due to the facility. So if you do not put the sales tax number in whenever you're creating your auction event, this will show up as $0. And if you try to charge the sales tax to the buyer once they come into your facility, they're not going to be too happy with you. So be sure, again, sales tax whenever you're creating your auction event, and put that so that the buyers are able to see it whenever they're coming in to pick up the unit. But they are able to see the description of the unit, and then again the auction terms that you have labeled out for them. So this is information that they are readily available to. Coming back to the auction event, another place for you to be able to find the winner's information is right underneath the status of the unit. You've got the winner info button. Again, this will give you the first and last name, buyer's email address, and phone number. You can message them directly into their account using the contact winner button or section, and you'll just submit your message for it to send to them. But definitely recommend just either giving them a phone call or sending them an email if you needed to reach out. Okay. So that is the basics of walking through the front and the back end of the website. Was there any questions about either creating the auction event or finding information once the auction is over?
I do have one question in regards to finding.
Sure.
It was the second to last thing that you actually did.
Okay. In what regard?
Finding the auctioneer's information.
Okay. Yes, sir. What question do you have?
Where did you go?
Okay, so all of this can be found under the Auctions tab on the left-hand side. View Ended Auctions in the top middle portion of the screen. You'll find your auction event that you're looking for. Click the More Actions and View Edit button. Scroll down, and then you'll be able to see the Winner's Information button. Does that answer your question?
Looking for, or were you actually looking to find out the customers who were eligible for an auction?
No, that answered my question.
Okay.
Perfect. And Justin, the system is going to automatically send out an invoice to the winning bidder, right? It's not something that the manager has to do, although we certainly want them to follow up with a phone call to them as well.
Correct, yeah. So as soon as you're able to see a download invoice button, the buyers will have the same copy in their account themselves. Another place for you to be able to find this invoice, if you didn't want to go through the auction event itself, is by coming to this message center on the left-hand side. This message center will show you an email very similar to this. It says Storage Auctions Invoice Detail. You'll notice that it has a paperclip to it. So if you click on this email itself, you'll be able to see the unit details information by clicking this button, or download the invoice by clicking the little cloud right here. So two different ways for you to be able to find the invoices. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering, where do we get the information for the start time and the end time for the auction?
So the end time is going to be the sale date of your actual auction. So this is the date that you'll specify in your newspaper articles and your lien letters. So whatever you set as the date in the future is what you'll actually set the end time of the auction. Start time is going to be 10 to 14 days prior to the auction's end time. So you'll just, whenever you're creating an auction event, you'll change the end time to the time that you specify in your lien letters and your newspaper articles, and then you'll change the start time to be appropriate to that, either 10 to 14 days. You can give us more time if you would like, but we ask for no less than 10 to 14 days.
Okay, so you said from the start time, 14 days after, that's the end date, correct?
Yes, but you'll always want to start with the end time, because this is what's going to be inside of your legal notices. So I always say put in your end time first and then work your way backwards to the start time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions?
The start time can be longer than 14 days. We just want a minimum of 14 days so that the auction gets enough exposure online to bring us a maximum bid.
Absolutely. If you can give us more time, that'd be even better, because that gives us more time for our marketing team to be able to drive traffic into your unit. Awesome. Any other questions before I let y'all go? Alrighty, I'm going to put inside of the chat section real quick. I'm going to give you my contact information and emails in case you run into any questions or problems whenever you're creating your auction event. Definitely feel free to reach out to me either by email or by phone. So again, my name was Justin, and my number is 866-944-8530. And as soon as you hear the automated message, you can dial 102 for my extension. or if you want to reach out to me by email, it's going to be justin@storageauctions.com. And definitely feel free to reach out to me by email if you would like. So both of those are inside the chat section. Again, my phone number is 866-944-8530. And as soon as the automated message starts, you can dial 102 for my extension or justin@storageauctions.com. But again,
and we will be sending out a link to this recorded webinar. That way you guys can go back and review anything that you want at a later time if needed.
Absolutely. Well, it was definitely a pleasure getting to talk to you all. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or need anything. But I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Justin, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye. Bye.